From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, August 7th, 2018. Silver's trading at $15.44 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,214 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $24, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,101. Antiwar.com reports, speaking on Fox News Sunday, U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton denied that the U.S. government had at all been involved in the reported Saturday assassination attempt in the Venezuelan capital of Caracas. There were conflicting reports on what happened, but the government reported 7 National Guard soldiers were injured by a pair of drone-like devices that carried explosives. They believe this was a failed attempt to assassinate Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who was unharmed. Firefighters at the scene said there was no attack at all, and the explosion was from a gas tank inside an apartment near the parade. Maduro had blamed the Colombian government for the attack, and arrests were made. Bolton said it was a pretext set up for the regime itself or something else, covering all possible bases. He added that if Venezuela had any hard information of U.S. involvement, the administration would take a serious look at it. In 2115 New England, there are no borders, no states, and no regulations, yet never has a more peaceful and prosperous place existed. But Mr. Drake's security company has seen better days. Faced with the prospect of waning power, Mr. Drake intends to replace the anarchy of New England with a government. But at what cost? Will anybody care? And can anyone stop him? Anarchy in New England by Joe Jarvis is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. UPI reports after half a decade of declining attendance since the release of a controversial documentary, Blackfish, SeaWorld's troubles might be over. The company announced on Monday a near 5% jump in attendance in the second quarter. In addition to the 4.8% jump in attendance to 6.4 million people, SeaWorld said Monday total revenue increased by $18.2 million, or 4.9% in the second quarter. Net income for the quarter ending June 30th was $22.7 million, up from a net loss of $175.9 million during the same quarter in 2017. Interim CEO John Riley said the results were driven by our new strategic pricing strategies, new marketing and communications initiatives, and the positive reception of our new rides, attractions, and events. The company has come under fire in recent years after Blackfish offered a critical look at the amusement park's treatment and breeding of its famed killer whales, or orcas. CEO Joel Manby stepped down in February after SeaWorld lost more than $200 million in fiscal year 2017. In March 2016, the company announced it stopped breeding orcas and that those under its care would be the last generation of the animal kept in its water parks. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap and Amazon, at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a federal court on Monday ruled that the Trump administration could not enforce an updated policy barring certain transgender individuals from serving in the U.S. military, becoming the second court in the country to rule against the federal government since it unveiled the policy in March. President Donald Trump announced on March 23rd that he would endorse a plan by Defense Secretary Jim Mattis that restricts military service of transgender people who experience a condition called gender dysphoria. The policy replaced an outright ban on transgender service members that Trump announced last year on Twitter, citing concerns over military focus and medical costs. U.S. District Judge Colleen Collar-Kettley in Washington denied a request by the administration to lift an injunction she had issued against Trump's original ban. Her ruling followed one by a federal judge in Seattle who in April also refused to allow the new policy to go into effect. The federal government had appealed that ruling to the San Francisco-based 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. The administration argued that the new policy, which also bars anyone who requires or has undergone gender transition, was no longer a categorical ban. Collar-Kettley disagreed and in Monday's ruling said the new policy effectively implements the original ban by targeting proxies of transgender status such as gender dysphoria and gender transition, and by requiring all service members to serve in their biological sex. The American Psychiatric Association defines gender dysphoria as a clinical significant distress due to a conflict between a person's gender identity and their sex assigned at birth. Not all transgender individuals suffer from gender dysphoria. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.